here with his cast of Merry Misfits here for Titans of Miran Season 2.
We're
Season 2,
back.
out of the cave.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're finally out of the
Dwarven Fortress
hole.
no more.
Season 2, it's personal. This time, it's personal.
So,
Always personal.
but yeah, we are back from our holiday hiatus. Yeah, the break was needed.
Very needed.
And then on top of that, it was just busy. A lot of things on the back end happening, and just so we're now coming back. So and just a few housekeeping things for returning viewers or returning anyone who's watching this after the broadcast time, because I found how to archive things.
Ooh.
Gerd.
So
We on the internet, people.
yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Professionals.
I've also gotten the donation
Professional.
widget to
Sure, we'll
work.
go with that.
Le gasp.
So
Is that
but-
allowed?
but yeah, so folks, as a reminder, this is a Titans of Miran is a Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition adventure that we are doing for the sake of Extra Life charity. So there is a fun little widget down below so you can donate to the cause down there. Extra Life charity is a wonderful program that I'm happy to be part of. Again, for yet another year, because we're in a new year. So that means we have a clean slate. We are now at $0 of donations out of our new goal for this year, which is $1,500. We're hoping by the end of December of this year we have raised $1,500 for sick kids in hospital that need treatments. But every dollar goes to, paying for accommodation, paying for research and some treatments, going in and, bringing entertainment to kids who are stuck in the hospital who can't go out and do things, because it is massively important to keep especially children distracted in hospital when times are tough and kind of scary. And it is a program that I wholeheartedly believe in, and I'm glad that we're coming in here for yet another round of fundraising for that. So, and of course, I bring with me my wonderful Titans of Miran cast, very familiar faces. So, starting with let's go clockwise, starting with Mr. David. How have you been? Hopefully it's been a good holiday.
Good. Yes, holiday was good, and I've spent enough time resting from my holiday that I'm doing things, or at least ready to do things again. So it's been good.
So, and we see the return of Darian Cairnstone again.
Hey, and hopefully a return to his more optimistic attitude once he gets a few drinks in him.
I doubt it.
I mean, it's a start.
It's a start.
I mean, everyone got to start somewhere.
Hey.
So, and then, of course, we cannot forget Mr. Crackshot, Garuk Stone Eye. So, how you been, Crackshot?
I've been good. Notice you didn't pronounce my last name there. I was actually thinking about retconning that because I don't think it's ever even been spoken. So just Guruk Stone Eye is good for me. So
yeah. So yeah, I realized I never actually put it on the overlay. So that's kind of, and I'm kind of reading off the overlay right now. So that was my bad. My bad. So
my name is Alpha Nigo Montoya.
No, I took it from a name generator anyway. So
oh, that's fair. Oh yeah. No, that Darren came from a similar place. I get it.
So, but how's the holidays treated you?
Good. I got an instrument that's super rare and I've wanted for a long time. So I was happy about that. But
Ooh.
a banjolin. It's a mandolin with a banjo head on it.
So does it have a mandolin head on it in addition to the banjo head, or is it just a banjo-sized shaped instrument but with like a mandolin bowl instead of the banjo?
No, it's a mandolin sized, strung like a mandolin, tuned like a mandolin, but it's got the banjo head on it, so it sounds like a banjo. Yeah.
Does it have
cool.
to be played by a pangolin?
Yep, I guess.
They don't have thumbs, guys.
They do
Didn't
now.
stop the ones in Madagascar.
Fair enough.
So,
oh God.
well, that's awesome. Well, if Goruk ever meets an end, I guess you could always play the bard.
Right.
So,
Legitimate strategy.
So, all right, and then let's jump over to Era Saris. So, Saris Morgan, how have you been?
I've been great. I got food poisoning New Year's Eve.
Mm.
And I was
Achievement
sick
unlocked.
for yeah. I went to bed at like 10. I was sick all New Year's. It was amazing. I also got my tattoo updated. So if you're like, I
Ooh.
like ink, that's pretty cool. Other than that, I've been working, growing my hair out, and we're in the stage of suffering. So please, nobody comment. That's where we're at.
Well, it sounds like you had a little bit of adventure.
Listen, there's when you're growing out a pixie, it's gonna be super long. It's gonna be great. Once we get to like chin length, that's a solid length because I can start doing a bob, which isn't my preference, but it'll work. Right now, we're in the
Trinity from the Matrix.
Yeah, kind of a pixie. But
Sorry,
kind
every
of
sci-fi heroine character from like the past couple of decades, because I just realized that's also in the new Tron. It's basically the same haircut for her too.
Yep. It's we can't cut this and make bangs, but we also can't not cut it. So yeah, that's where we're at. But I'm excited to be back. I'm excited to play and explore the dynamic with my alter duo, who's upstairs making me dinner.
It seems fair.
Yeah.
Get yourself someone to make dinner for you.
And then, of course, last but not least, by any stretch of the means, Mr. M. Beeble himself.
Ooh.
Game wrecker extraordinaire.
You guys ain't dead yet.
He said game wrecker, not party killer. It's there is a distinct difference there, although one can imply the other.
Yeah. All's well on this end. It was a very busy holiday season. Drove about 1,500 to 1,600 miles visiting various relatives, and then had a nice quiet New Year's at home with some friends and the wife. And then after that, it's been work. But up in the near future here, I have a lot of travel booked, so you'll see a lot of different backgrounds, I assume, as time goes forward. Various hotels, I'm sure.
Let's have a little mini game out there in the audience. If you can guess where he's broadcasting from, you get a
You
cookie.
don't even have to pick like the city and town. You just have to be like, is this a hotel?
That's right. I mean, if a hotel had books like this, I would stay at that hotel every time.
I know, right?
Yeah, that would be the classiest of classy hotels.
Hell yeah! Like I want dice on my pillow, turn down service. You know, maybe have the. I mean, hell, I would even take a sheet that looks like a character sheet.
That's
instead of the normal entertainment system, they provide you a gaming table.
There you go.
Sold. I mean, I think we just came up with a new business strategy.
I was going to say, yeah.
I so want character sheets for my bed now.
Character sheets.
There's gotta be some place that prints custom sheets from like pictures you send in. You should be able to send in like a scaled up character sheet.
Fuck. You know, I'm gonna be right back, guys. I gotta go and
he has to go start an entire new enterprise, and
I gotta go file a copyright.
Go file patent.
yeah.
Yep. I'll be right back, folks. Because you know there are people that will buy that shit.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
in a heartbeat.
Including me.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So especially if it's a custom service, so that way you could even have your character already on the character sheet instead of a blank character sheet.
Oh hell yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And then like
Or if you put it on like your guest bed, you know, the guest, you can have like guest sheet. You know, guest and I mean
like the fabric equivalent of a dry erase marker, so they can fill in their own stats, maybe doodle a little picture.
oh, we need to get the whole bed set in. So like the comforter has to be like the top character sheet, and then like the under
like
sheet,
the
under
sheet, and the inventory sheet, and
minion / companion sheets, all that good jazz.
oh, the comforter is the bedroll in your inventory.
There you go. The pillows are, of course, dice.
Of course.
Mm-hmm. And if you throw them at your partner hard enough, you might just roll a 6 or a 20 or whatever.
One side is a 20.
Hey, honey, that was a critical. Honey, are you okay? Honey.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway, I think we're playing a game or something.
Yep. Yes, we are.
Presumably.
So, but yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us embark. So, our adventurers, as of last season, we saw quite a few ups and downs. So
mostly downs.
Yeah, many of our party members had been
down.
So had been contracted by a particular agency to explore a set of ruins. Essentially, they were told, "Hey, there's a ruins full of goblins. We need you to make them go bye-bye so we could study ruins, because Miran as a world is a post-cataclysm world. About 1,000 years ago, something major happened, and it broke the world. And we are still kind of in that period of where pieces are getting put back together. The previous age, the age of brass and magic, was renowned for various artifacts and other technologies that are now predominantly lost. There's not a lot of people around. There's not a lot of people or really anything around that really remembers how it all goes together. Hence why finding intact ruins is very important, because they might be able to dredge up pieces of technology that were helpful. And not die trying to wander into one of the cities, which is essentially a death trap. So they proceeded to go to the ruins, and the merry band had, well, a brush with goblins. It didn't go over so hot. There was a river involved that inevitably led to their capture.
I jumped straight over that river, if I remember correctly.
Yep. You made it across. I did not.
Yep.
I jumped on Darian.
Yeah.
Yep. And then you proceeded to not stick the landing and instead stuck your landing right in the river.
Yeah.
You know what? It's the journey, not the destination.
The journey included chafing and near frostbite.
Yep.
And so the party did find themselves within captivity inside said ruins that they were meant to explore. Guests of the Mog, a rather large faction of goblinoids and other misfits that have been pushing hard from the west. In said captivity, they met Beeble, who has been a guest of the Mog for a very long time, and been the subject of not so fun experiments. But I mean, Beeble kind of thinks that they were kind of fun, I guess. sometimes.
He certainly didn't seem to mind, I think.
I think it's
Just
a
a way
sex
of life.
thing.
I mean,
Mm.
you're probably not wrong, but also I don't want to think about it. So,
But essentially, the party soon found themselves pretty much being held at Archipistol Point to say, "Hey, the Mog have been sending guys down into deeper into this tomb. None of our guys keep coming back. You guys get to explore it, and if you guys survive, then maybe we'll, enslave you and take you for conditioning." So,
fun.
yep, and here, take a Beeble with you.
I don't believe in
Yeah.
conditioning before marriage.
And so our party ended up finding themselves within the tomb of the Braskin clan, and for in reality, despite the fact that we spent about a year of actual playtime in there, only a couple days really. You guys took I think 3 long rests.
Something along those lines, yeah.
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 It wasn't long.
Yeah,
No.
but
I mean, we've all been in those campaigns, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It happens.
But
Yep.
they plundered the secrets of the tomb, finding a few oddities, a half-built golem that tried to kill them.
As they do.
Tried to kill them twice if you want to be a little bit more specific about a particular incident with the forge.
In all fairness, I can't really blame that one on the golem.
I mean, you can blame pretty much everything on Beeble. It's fine.
I mean, that would
It's
be
not-
inaccurate, but sure.
Mostly accurate.
Yeah.
They discovered a ancient tome that Beeble ended up reading that detailed the origins of said golems.
Yeah.
They have also were proven not worthy of high praise by the resident testing system. So they had a little bit of a rough go at it. So, but at the bottom they did find a particularly nasty undead dwarf, one who had been there for a very, very long time. And a fight ensued, and well, the party survived. There's now an undead dwarf wandering around the world now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the entire tomb started to shake and self-destruct, and we watched as our band of heroes made a quick escape out the back tunnel. Some of our party members severely weakened from their encounter with the undead dwarf. And they did manage to make it out of the cave systems just in time to watch the rest of the mountain go as an active volcano woke up under the tomb. So,
Oops. Oopsie doopsie.
But on the plus side, I think that means we can report mission complete on the whole getting rid of the goblins thing.
Yeah.
I mean, unconfirmed.
That's fair, but a volcano just exploded. They're not going to go check.
yeah.
I mean, we could definitely fake our death if that's what you're saying.
Oh, no.
Or the
no.
insurance.
You had insurance? Shit.
Listen, I have insurance on everything. I have insurance on all of you.
Oh.
If you die, I
that
get
does
gold.
explain that paperwork you wanted me to sign in Infernal.
Yeah. But that brings us to today. So I will say that some time has passed. I'm going to bring up the battle map to kind of show off the world map here for a moment. Then I started messing with OBS instead of the actual map, so there was some weirdness there for a second. My apologies. So,
Whoopsies.
so our party was originally here in the area of Orun. So about 2.5, 3 weeks have passed, and right now we are going to actually find our cast entering the town of Knife Runner's Hold. So, or town is um
Loosely.
kind of misleading
Mm.
as
Settlement.
settlement slash partial ruins. So the thing is with this particular world is that there's not a whole lot there up until fairly recently. It had not been really safe to establish. And I say fairly recently, as in fairly recently is about 250, 300 years ago, um, to establish an actual full time settlement. As the aftershocks of the cataclysm actually caused things like the dead to rise and physics to turn off occasionally,
Oh,
which that's always fun. Um, so but we come into Knife Runner's Hold, and it is actually of not insignificant size, but in looking at this settlement against the river, in closer inspection you would find various ruins and signs of this settlement having been bigger at some point. Most likely, the residents of Knife Runner's Hold, when they originally were striking out, had found an abandoned settlement that was ruined by the cataclysm. Maybe it was a settlement that was tried to been established after the cataclysm and failed, but then Knife Runner and his band did come into finding these ruins and now have essentially established a city, and that was about 300 years ago. But the various holds are the bastions of civilization now, as the denizens of this world are still trying to pick up the pieces. So, but for now, our party finds themselves walking through the front gates. So, where relatively new walls are standing, and they are allowed into the city without much of a hubbub.
These are the gates here on
Yeah,
the left. Okay.
I didn't have a good gate little
No,
thingy.
it was easy. It was easy enough to figure out. I just want to make sure.
So so and so it would be safe to say that other than Beeble, some of you would probably be familiar with Knife Runner's Hold, as there are not very many holds.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so unless
Okay.
the only other one of question would probably be Guruk, because I don't know how much civilization Guruk has interacted with.
I would think other than, my village, not much.
Okay. But Darian, considering your travels, and
Mm-hmm.
Saris, especially considering your occupation,
Yeah.
you've probably been through Knife Runner's Hold at least once or twice.
Oh yeah.
So, no, the hold in itself is divided into several districts, which are scattered around and should have a decent label on them. So,
Mm-hmm.
ranging from the old quarter up to the north, where various ruins of more mystical um, varieties were originally discovered. So, standing stones and the like. But one of the buildings that is probably the oldest building in the entire hold is an old temple that is used to kind of serve as just general worship of pretty much any god that you can think of. So they kind of share the space in order to carry out worship for um, whatever someone may need.
Non-denominational.
Yep. So, and then there's also the ruins of what could have stood as once the keep, but uh, is now more of a hodgepodge of various like bureaucrats essentially. They've taken what used to be this keep and they've kind of patched it back together enough to be useful for administration, but that's about it. It is not so there's still whole like you could tell higher up in the keep that restoration has not occurred. You have the Bronze District, which serves as both kind of the tavern district as well as kind of uh, general residences and storage.
I want to go there.
So it's kind of the district for just travelers. That's kind of why it's right by the gate, as well as where a lot of warehouses got put. Because they couldn't really figure out where else to put things. Right across from that is the Gold District. The Gold District is where the various shops and crafts workers of Knife Runner's Hold reside. So this is where you can find a little bit of everything if you're willing to look hard enough. A lot of trade occurs very well. It's very beneficial that Knife Runner's Hold is actually butted up against the river. So they do see quite a few oddities here and there. Hello,
I have
Kat.
a question.
Yes.
Are there brothels there?
Not in the Gold District. So that kind of the like brothels and more of the seedier seedier businesses of town would actually be in what's known as the Relic District, which is going to be down in the lower right portion here,
Okay.
this little triad here.
So plan is the Bronze District for taverns and then the Relic District. Got it. Continue.
So, but since we're talking about the Relic District, yeah. So the Relic District
For the kids.
Yeah, for the kids.
For the kids.
But the Relic District serves as, brothels as well as the very more of the less desirable businesses that have sprung up, whether that be crematorium, dealing with preparing people for after death, as well as kind of the underground business, the underground trades such as fencing goods and the like.
The wrong side of the tracks, as it were.
Yeah. So there are a couple of mercenary offices as mercenary groups that reside in the Relic District as well. So to pick up mercenaries. But the big thing about the Relic District is that it is one of the least restored portions of the town. You can clearly see where the district would have normally kept going. It actually keeps going into the river with various buildings sticking out of the water. So there's a few archaeological tents there. Fun fact, this is also where you would most likely find the ones who originally sent you out on contract. The brass scripts. They probably reside out here specifically studying some of those ruins that they can reach.
Okay, I assumed that the Brass Scripts was a pretty reputable group. Are you saying that they're not really?
Are they seedy?
They're regarded about 50-50.
Okay.
So
depends on the Relic Hunter.
because because on one hand, yes, they are recovering a lot. They are prolific and they're known a lot of places. So hello Haruka Juku and Soundwaves. Thanks for stopping by. But there there comes a stigma with the fact that a lot of their discoveries is glorified grave robbing, essentially.
That makes sense.
So, not to mention, if they set up like workshops, they are generally given wide berth because of the nature of some of the technology to explode.
Yeah,
So
so
it's a combination of that. They kind of raise insurance rates and the fact that a lot of their discoveries is essentially grave robbing. But they are definitely have a foothold in almost every hold, as well as some of the minor settlements. So they definitely have the finance power to hire out the massive wave of mercenaries that you were part of. So, um, so moving on, let's talk about the Steel District. The Steel District, um, is one of the more crowded districts. It serves as kind of the general housing for the local garrison. Kind of just standing army kind of barracks, as well as training grounds and the like. And smack dab in the corner closest to the gate to the city is actually a pretty decently sized like fort. There that's kind of there to oversee the defense of the area, as well as the outskirts of Knife Runner's hold. Um, Purple shark, doot 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 doot.
Oh god.
So, but the Steel District sees a lot more of the grizzled veterans of the town, as well as kind of like armories. So, so, and then let's see here. The Brass District, which is closest to the docks, is a residential slash working class area where some trades are set up in the Brass District, such as like tanneries or
Blacksmiths.
leather workers and the like. So they so but its proximity to the docks there also makes it the docking hub. A lot of sailors go to and fro. Anybody who's going to be taking a skiff up or down the river generally will be residing in the Brass District. It also has a few additional taverns that more of the local joints versus kind of the more accessible and more popular Bronze District taverns.
And shark infested waters.
Yeah. And then finally, we have the Copper District. The Copper District is a little bit more upscale living residences, but the more notable portion of the district is dedicated to a small university and library, where various people study recovered tomes in order to glean a little bit more information. So there is a mage guild as well, and they have a presence in the Copper District as well, serving as staff for the university. So, but yeah, it's definitely a little bit more upscale, in terms of residences in comparison to the Brass District or the Bronze District. So,
Okay.
so, and then we have the mighty river. So, it's actually a very sizable river. The world map really didn't do it all that much justice. It's like a 1.5 mile wide river.
Oh,
Damn.
shit.
Yeah,
So that's just the border of the river.
yeah,
that
you're just looking at the border right now. So,
Okay.
and it
Hence
is
all the boats and stuff to the right.
I mean, yeah, I just thought, I don't know exactly what I thought other than, oh, that must be a lake with a river going into and coming out of it. Not, oh, it's just a big fuck off river. So, yeah, that's where my brain was.
yeah. So, there are various islands. Not any
Does
of
the
them.
river have a name? I didn't.
I don't know, but it apparently has freshwater great white sharks.
That's a big ass shark.
It's a big fucking shark.
I didn't mean to make it that big.
With a river that big, it might be brackish. You don't know.
I suppose that's a fair point.
Yeah, the river actually does not have a name. At least I haven't generated one yet. So,
Also,
but
bull sharks swim in rivers, so.
What you just gotta say about that is, it doesn't have a name that we know yet.
yeah,
Right. We don't care. It's the river.
Yeah.
We have more important things on our mind.
but yeah,
Like how I'm gonna go find a hooker.
That's less on our mind, but fair.
I mean, it might just be on my mind, but listen, someone's
No,
gotta.
What are you gonna
fair.
put on the hook?
It doesn't matter. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Money. She puts money on the hook.
Money on the hook.
How does that work?
It surprisingly well on most people.
Alfredo.
Oh god, I
And
thought you were talking like about a cat named Alfredo. I was not expecting him to hand you a bowl of food.
yeah.
You were just so happy.
They thought I was talking about the cat. No, that was the food.
No, it made sense when I saw the bowl, but I was not.
All right. But yes, so our party finds themselves waved through the main gate. You lot have been traveling for 2.5 weeks. You guys have been roughing it super hard. You guys are tired. You guys are dirty. And it has been a very, very long trek.
Yeah. Yeah, no, assuming I already know a decent inn in town, I'm going to make my way towards that.
Okay, so you're heading to the Bronze District?
Yep.
So the area that we enter is what?
That
Technically,
road's like
yeah, you guys are technically like at the crossroads. Between
the
the
Bronze and
crossroads
Steel.
between the Bronze and Steel District.
Okay.
So, but yeah, so okay, Darian's gonna go find a tavern. Who's going with?
Hey, Beeble.
Where are you going, Darian?
like I said, I assume I already know a place if I'm familiar with here, wherever I
You probably have a favorite place.
All right, give me a list. If you have a list of named places. If not, I'll
Okay,
I don't know, try and
So the big 3 inns of the Bronze District that you and Saris would probably know more about it because of either staying there at one time or another. There's going to be the Happy Tinker. It's more of a smaller tavern. And I said Happy Tinker. Happy Tinkerer. I need to work on my enunciation.
he's okay. That's a tough one.
Yeah. So, and it's a little bit further. It's a little bit out of the way, but it's definitely still popular. It's still kind of a popular place. The drinks aren't bad. Then you have the Black Cauldron, which is more run down. It's definitely one of the not so great Bronze District taverns. But the rooms are cheap. And well, I mean, other than rock, a lot of very drunk patrons in the evenings, it's not horrible. So there's definitely worse places in the Brass District. Um, and then you have the Glorious Sun. Is definitely the highest scale tavern there. Both of you probably would have walked in, and probably would have been thrown out for looking scruffy. It's more meant for the traders and more of the upscale people who are passing through Knife Runner's hold. So the but you have heard that the beds in the said the Glorious Sun are very luxurious and the food is phenomenal. Those would be the three main taverns that you would know about in the Bronze District. However, there are definitely more that you probably wouldn't mind looking at some point, especially if you deign to go looking for it.
Mm-hmm.
For them.
That sounds like something for a different day. So yeah, I'll probably make a beeline towards the Happy Tinkerer.
Okay.
No, let's go to the Black Cauldron.
You can go to the Black Cauldron if you want. I'm not going to stop you.
You know that's my favorite.
No, I don't know that. That's your favorite.
Listen, it's that or the brothels. So make your choice.
Wait, are you saying you're going to sleep at the brothels? Do they allow that now? I mean, overnight, not just for an hour.
Oh, honey, I'm not going to sleep at the brothel.
Stay at the brothels. My apologies. Look, I assumed you were going anyway. I just want a place where I don't have to, knock someone out to get my drink.
Fine, I'll go to your stupid tinkerer.
What flavor is the broth there?
Tuna.
Chicken.
Feeble, I would love for you to come to the brothel with me.
I like soup.
You would love it, and I bet you could tell so many people about cookfish.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to let that happen. That's,
I suppose I would probably just follow Darian, seeing as I do not know much about civilization in general.
Yeah, the city is pretty bustling too. Like just at this crossroads, Garuk, you probably see like double the number of people than you probably would have seen in your village. So
Double?
Yeah. Like a lot of people have packed in here because this is one of the few safe places to live.
So you guys know this place, right?
a bit.
So what do you do here?
Rest, recover, replenish supplies.
Drink.
From what I understand, some people spend their entire lives in places like this.
Occasionally.
True.
Okay. It's big. Really big.
Don't worry. Once you get inside, it's not so bad.
Sure. Okay. Just, it's a lot.
Aye.
And he just kind of falls quiet for a bit, just sort of walking, looking around, just super wide-eyed.
Please tell me someone's keeping an eye on him so he doesn't wander into a...
I feel like at this point, wait, let me see what, wait. Well, I gave up my rope, so I can't tie a makeshift leash around him. So. That's all I got.
Just tell him to hold your hand.
Hold my hand, and then we'll go to the brothel. But we got to get a beer first, because they like you loose.
Why do you need beer for soup?
It helps the ship go down better, people.
Yeah, it does.
Jesus.
So many layers to that joke.
Yeah.
It's like an ogre. It has layers.
Or an onion.
Parfait. Everybody loves parfait.
All right, I'm gonna make a B line for the tavern that Darian picked because whatever. And I'm gonna hold Beeble by the hand. That's it. That's what I'm doing.
Okay, so
I'm walking to that tavern.
all right, so you guys are going to find yourselves at the.
Can I have you do a perception check, please?
Oh boy.
Sure. Did I grab something that's not your hand? I don't want to know.
Oh, jeez. Oh,
that would probably be way too low down to just casually grab on Beeble, but...
Let's see here. Actually,
kind of scared to see what the first roll of the second season is.
It's an 18, so it's not bad.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty solid. That's good.
You realize that Beeble has done Mage Hand, and you're holding the Mage Hand, and he's just sort of walking.
Okay. That's fine. I'm less concerned about Beeble and much more worried about beer.
And I mean,
he's following, but he's...
Yeah, I was going to say, at the very least, if the hand disappears from your hand, you know that Beeble's gotten too far away. It's like a retractable leash with no rope.
Yep.
Convenient.
Yeah. It's at least a warning.
Yeah.
That Beeble is loose in the city, and I think they make movies about shit like that.
Like Home Alone
Beeble's
2.
Day Out.
Just let's hope it doesn't.
Ferris Beeble's Day Off.
Beeble.
Let's just hope it doesn't turn into Groundhog Day.
Oh dear God, no.
So
best day ever.
Groundhog Beeble.
But yeah, you guys start picking your way towards the Tinkerer.
What do the buildings here look like? I mean, are they stone? Are they wood? Are they old? Are they new?
It's a mix. There's for the Bronze District, there's definitely a lot more newer construction, which newer being like 100 years or so of more wooden and thatch, or wooden roofs, and the occasional like the Glorious Sun would probably be a tile roof. And then, but also there's a few more squat buildings that are made from what looks like very, very old stonework. That obviously were either left over from Cataclysm or from the original period of settlement.
Just repurposing the old ruins.
Yeah. So there's a couple of buildings that are definitely not all the way together, that are kind of like a half and half, as people have tried to just take a foundation and maybe like a half wall and then build off of that using wood in order to turn it into an actual proper structure. So, but predominantly it's a mixture of stone, like really, really old stonework and ruined material, and then newer lumber, kind of that lower tech level building material of lumber and I want to say caulk, but I know that's not the right term. The mud straw mix, that like mortar, the like mud straw mix that you paint white kind of thing.
Daub?
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
No, he said not that, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, so
it's okay. I've decided Ceres is into women. That's fine.
Yeah, fair enough.
It seems fairly obvious.
I'd believe it.
But yeah, so you guys pick your way with Darian leading the group to the Happy Tinkerer. So this building is definitely of the wooden construction. It's not really doesn't seem to be any part of it that was actually ruins at some point. It's a thatch roof tavern, and it's pretty cozy. It's a little bit on the squat side. But you definitely see some people going to and fro. So, and it's a little bit of a quieter portion of the Bronze District.
All right. Any empty tables?
So, upon entry, you do find that it's fairly low population right now. So, a few groups scattered about the room. Empty table is easy to find. So the haze of pipe smoke and some smoke from the from the fireplace, is kind of hanging low from the ceiling, as well as the smells of like roast chicken and some other vegetables cooking in the back in the kitchen. So,
About what time of day is it?
early afternoon.
Okay.
So yeah, you guys been traveling a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Chicken is good. People is better.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, so you enter the tavern and no.
What is this place?
You can. They make food and they have beds.
Okay.
You can rest and eat here.
Well, you can do that outside too.
I'm gonna go ahead and sit down at a table. Wait for a barmaid. Does the barmaid come over?
Yeah, barmaid service is pretty quick since there's not too many groups right now. And
I'll take your stiffest drink and whatever that stew that Baby Yoda was drinking.
The bone broth.
Yeah, the bone broth.
And I'll have the largest cup of ale and some of whatever that roast chicken you've got.
I'll have an ale and whatever's in the pot, lass. And people here will have the same.
Is it the bar?
Okay.
The barmaid is a rather stocky human. So she's pale in complexion, like blonde. And she takes the orders really easily. She kind of pauses and does a double take at Beeble, like quirks an eyebrow for a hot second. And then looks at Darian, and then looks at Beeble, and then kind of like, okay, and then
Hi, I'm Beeble.
So she's like, all right, well, with that, for all of that, that's going to be about 4 silver for essentially 4 meals and with drinks to go with them. So, you have that on hand?
I'll pass over.
Silver.
I'll pass over a couple. I'll pass over the 4 silver. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, wait, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember what so the square is what? What is the silver?
So if you look just beside those little symbols, you actually see in really tiny text CP, SP, etc. So CP is copper, SP is by the
Okay.
silver pieces. So the triangle is silver, the square is copper. The middle one you don't use because it's electrum pieces. Below that, the sort of
Is
weird
gold.
hourglass is gold. Yeah, and then the very bottom one is platinum.
Platinums.
Thank you.
So
But yeah, I'm just forking over 4 silver. I've got the change, so.
I was just gonna say I forgot my wallet.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is easier. You're already not happy about being in this particular tavern. I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't have time to argue about splitting the bill right now.
Yep. The barmaid quickly takes the coins. She looks at them and like takes a quick bite to make sure that it's actually silver before pocketing it, and then she just scuttles to the back and It's not very long before she comes back out with your orders. So and lays them out.
Sweet. But guys, do you think she's single?
I mean, she's a person that's by herself. So
No
You can
offense.
always ask.
No offense. I'm more relying on Darian for this
I mean,
one.
you're the only one that's not single because you have two.
Ah.
Because I have two what?
I think he's referring to Morgan.
Oh, well, that's not my fault.
Oh no, it's nobody's fault.
And he's
Then?
not really like DTF. It's more awkward. You know what I mean?
What would that even look like?
Masturbation, presumably. I mean,
It makes it really uncomfortable if I'm being honest. He comments on my technique and
I'm confused.
Yeah.
it's fine.
Aren't we all, people?
Aren't we all?
Okay.
I've stopped trying to make sense of any of you except maybe Gauruk about 3 days ago. So
I'm gonna eat now. I'm gonna just
Aye.
eat.
We have food, we have drink. Let's just enjoy ourselves in a bit of silence, maybe.
And we'll play the quiet game.
Okay. Everyone, make me a perception check, real quick.
I mean, I'm gonna win at that silent game. I'm just.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Nice.
Okay.
Pretty good all around.
Yeah.
Well, so as you guys are eating, the hum of conversation around you doesn't abate, but you all notice out of the corner of your eyes, and especially Beeble, you definitely take notice, whether it's because you're looking around kind of awe-stricken at, something that's not a dungeon, but a few of the other tables are definitely giving you guys glances. Specifically, they're giving Beeble glances.
I mean,
of a mixture of confusion and a little apprehension.
That's fair.
Well, whichever one of them you match with on Grinder, you have to tell them that like they're your beard, like you're with a beard, and so like you can't be public. I'm just saying, we live in a rough world, okay?
Hey.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
For the kids.
For the kids' sake, not for the kids to watch, everybody. It's
But on a real note, I guess is it okay if did I roll high enough to where I can take notice of like everybody watching us?
Yeah, so yeah, you definitely
Okay.
would have noticed that some people are kind of, and Darian would have also noticed that some folks are giving Beeble the eye. Oh my.
How close is the nearest table?
Like 20 feet away. So
They're 20 feet away?
Yeah, so like they're like 2-3 tables away. So
Is there a bathroom?
oh,
there's
hang on.
probably an outhouse out back.
Okay, suddenly
Uh-oh.
everybody you watch so, and this is something that everybody can see, is that suddenly you watch a bunch of, like, every other table, every single other person in this tavern sit stock upright and look around. And they look spooked.
And not from like anything we noticed happening, just that kind of synchronized prairie dogging from everyone else in the tavern.
So yeah, everyone's starting prairie dog, but you guys didn't notice jack shit.
That's did I miss something?
I'm just eating.
I mean, they're not looking at Beeble right now, are they? Are they just looking around in general, or are they?
they look. So you guys notice that they kind of look your guys' general direction, and then they rapidly look away. And a lot of them are hurrying to finish their drinks and leave.
Are are Goliaths common in this area?
Mm,
I mean, it's kind of a mountainous region, but
it's so. Are you asking out of character or are you asking in character?
I was asking out of character because if they are not, then I would just assume that it's because I'm a Goliath that they did that.
I mean, Goliaths are not common, but they're not like
They wouldn't.
they're
invoke
not
that
they're
reaction.
not like super rare. I mean,
Gotcha.
especially as a port on the river, they would have seen a couple go to and fro, and there's probably more than a handful that are part of the mercenary companies that reside in the Relic District.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
I would ask the table next to me what happened. I'm gonna do that.
well, we can't help but notice that you got one of them. He makes like pointy ear gestures for like Beeble shaped football head. And he talked to us in our heads. I think it was, but all this.
Hi.
what did he say out of curiosity?
Hello, and then behind us, and well, we looked behind us, and there was nothing there, but I mean,
Just a big smile, just full of just jagged, sharp, like shark-like teeth.
and we watch as the person you are talking to is like, nope, 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 right out the front of the right out of the tavern.
Good. I'm gonna give Beeble a fist bump.
On the one hand, I don't mind the peace.
Why do you want to punch me?
No, look, you just connect your fist to my fist, but like not forcefully. Don't hurt me.
Oh, this is fun. Okay.
Just touch it.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So
and then that's it.
So yeah, Beeble, in the future, just as a note, talking in other people's heads,
yeah,
while convenient, is generally, they find it a bit creepy, and they don't like it.
Why?
I don't know, but they do.
It's easier than shouting.
No, you're not wrong. Don't get me wrong.
Because shouting usually gets you killed because, things hear you in the dark and then they come out and kill you.
Right,
so
right.
Easier not to make any noises.
Aye, that's
you. So,
very wise. But more importantly, if the rest of the tavern clears out because of us, the tavern does not necessarily like that.
And at that moment, you hear
I'm going to have to find a new favorite tavern, aren't
I?
Dorian, you turn around to find
I fist bump Saris.
What?
A pretty tall, well-built half-orc who's definitely the tavern keep. This is the tavern keeper.
Mm-hmm.
He's wearing just a tavern keeper apron. And he's kind of luminary. It's like, so you want to tell me why all the rest of me workers all the rest of me clients decided to just bundle out of here?
I'm gonna stand up.
Yeah, that's right. You are.
And just stand right behind Darian.
I'm gonna stand whatever side Garok is on. I'm gonna get up and stand on the other side and say, "What of it?"
Oh, I wasn't gonna go that far, but okay.
Listen,
Our traveling companion, Beeble, here has never been in a tavern before. He's a bit, he's adjusting a touch.
Okay.
Hi.
He noticed that the rest of the patrons seemed a bit uncomfortable with his presence and decided to say hello.
And I say hello in his mind.
Oh fuck!
Like the tavern's keeper's eyebrow definitely raises, and he scowls a little bit, and then he looks at Darian again, and is like, "Well, obviously you gotta be expecting some stares if you bring one of them around." Especially
you racist motherfucker.
Just saying, because
no,
just consider the fact.
One of what?
Goblin.
One of what? I'm not a goblin. I'm a beeble.
He's really not like any other goblin I have ever heard of, and I'm a historian.
Oh, Mr.
Tosh.
Tosh?
I know.
Yeah, I was gonna say Daniel Tosh.
Can I go talk to your fire?
I'm sorry, what?
He
Can I go talk to your
with
fire?
he communes with something called cookfish by talking to fires.
Yep.
Like Tosh
No.
like pinches the bridge of his nose, and he is like, "It's too early for this."
I agree. Can I buy you a beer?
He
Or
owns
maybe something stiffer?
I own the place.
Hey, do you want me to pay for you drinking one of your own drinks or not? So that we can commiserate over our shared misery.
Look, are you all going to be staying long? Please say no.
Look, I just want to get my beer and go to the brothel. That's it.
Just long enough to finish my food and my drink, and then we can clear out. I don't suppose you know if there are any goblin-friendly taverns in town that I won't have to punch someone's face in to get a drink.
You're not going to find very many places that look on goblins all that well. Especially considering everything that's been going on out west.
Hey, we're aware. We had a run-in with them. That's where we picked up this poor thing.
Beeble?
This poor Beeble, yes.
So, you might try the cauldron. They generally are low skill enough that they have less scruples.
I was afraid you'd say that.
That's what I thought.
All right. Well, again, as long as we can finish our drinks and food, we'll make our way out.
Yep, that's
sure
fair.
You don't want to join me for a good drink? It is far too early for any of this.
Yeah, I still got work to do.
Yeah, fair enough.
Try not to scare any others that might walk in, will ya?
No promises.
I don't suppose you have a leash.
I mean, I got a rope.
I mean, will it help if I did this and make myself look human?
What?
Like Tosh Lynx again is like, oh goody, it's a spellcaster. You'd probably get along a little bit better if he looked like that.
Yeah, because
you could do that the whole time.
Yeah, like the Mog, they trained me to go and they wanted me to go to different towns and things like that. And well,
Wait.
People,
you're telling me he was part of the Mog?
No, he was a prisoner of the Mog.
No. He said mob.
Yeah,
I said Mog.
Like the Italian mob. Like, hey, you
All
know,
right, deception checks.
I'm
For
just
who?
going to start drinking now. I might eventually stop.
deception check for who?
On all of you who are trying to cover for people right now.
I'm not, so
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just shoving food in my mouth and drinking.
That was out of character. I was just making a joke.
That's fair, but I think Sarah's
I
Totally jumped
completely
in
meant
anyway.
it.
I will do
Okay.
this though. Oh, that's not good.
You look intimidating briefly, and then your stomach grumbles, and you go back to your broth.
I have a 13.
Yep. So Tosh looks at you, Saris, and then looks at Beeble, then looks back at you. It's like, all right, just I would probably prefer to keep that down. Again,
Okay.
Right.
Mog aren't welcome here.
Noted.
Right. No. Right.
Good thing I'm not Mog.
So just finish your food, finish your drinks, and be on your way.
Absolutely.
And then Tosh leaves to head into the back.
I'm ready to go whenever.
Yep. I'll just finish, and we will pack up and get out, I suppose.
Okay.
As soon as we get out the door, though, I do want to talk to Beeble.
Okay. Before you do that, though, let's go ahead and take a quick break because we're about an hour and 15 minutes in right now. And so now would be probably a good time to take a quick break for that. So, folks, we will be back with more Titans of Miran, a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition adventure for Extra Life Charity. We will be back in about 10 minutes. So
When we get kicked out of another bar.
Yeah.
So,
One can only hope.
but thank you everyone out there in Twitchland who are joining us. So Bracarius, Harunka Junko, and Soundwaves Ghost. Thanks for stopping by, and we will be back in about 10 minutes. So, but stick around. And we're back.
Woohoo!
So, as our merry band has essentially been asked to leave politely by the barkeep of the Happy Tinkerer. So just before we went on break, so sorry about the suddenness of that. Few things had to happen in the background. But Garuk was going to say something to Beeble, I believe.
Yeah.
Before you do that, when I turned into a human, it's Beeble's image of a human.
Oh no.
Sort of a small head, really long, weird arms, just like a child's drawing of a human.
So you're a little bit more like a gray alien than you are a human.
Yeah, because Beeble's never seen a human. None of you are human.
I was wondering about that actually.
So just
that briefly occurred to me.
Beeble, since that's kind of what's going on, roll me a d20 real quick.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Is this a perform check or is this just a...
This is something for in the background.
There you go.
Okay.
So, anyway, carry on.
All right.
So yeah, I've seen humans before. I know that's kind of what a human looks like.
Well, the barmaid was human that just served you.
Yeah. And but Beeble doesn't know that.
Yeah, good point.
So what does Garuk say? Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to make that.
I'm going to throw a blanket over Beeble like a cloak.
I'm just gonna turn to Beeble and be like, so by now you probably know. Don't really like talking to you directly.
This is a good start.
We're such good friends.
Do you like games?
Oh God. Oh
you
God.
Want to play a game?
Oh God, I see where this is going, but not in character. Darren is too interested in getting smashed to give a fuck.
Sure, what kind of game?
Now, this is a game that you have to be very perceptive to win. When I say a specific word, you have to stop saying whatever you're saying.
Okay, this is not where I thought it was going, but I like this too.
Both out of your mouth and in your mind. Do you want to play this game?
What do I get if I win?
Question.
You get broth.
No, make it something that we can get a hold of easier.
What's your favorite drink?
Water.
Oh,
I will give you a glass of water every time you win this game.
Did people have any of the ale?
No.
Okay. Then I drank his ale too before we left.
That's fine.
Okay.
I'm not letting it go to waste, goddammit.
I mean, there's a river. I can easily go get the water.
But that's river water. This isn't game-winning water.
Ooh.
You're not gonna piss on me, are you?
Oh, God. And Darren, mumbling under his voice, but not quiet enough to not be heard because he's not subtle, goes, "Oh, Christ, it was weird sex stuff."
It was weird sex.
Okay, not Christ, but the Dwarven equivalent. People, do you say that because people have done that to you before?
Uh-huh.
No.
I should not have asked that question. I should not. People, how about if you win the game, we get you new bones to munch on. Nice, juicy, marrowy bones.
Okay.
Okay. Now I gotta come up with the word. The word is platypus.
Oh.
I love that implies that you have seen a platypus.
Doesn't matter if I've seen it or not. It's just that's the word.
I know. It kind of implies that your character does in fact know what one is, or has at least heard of it. And either way, that amuses me. I'm sorry.
Does it matter that I don't know what that is?
No.
No, just as long as you recognize the word, people.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, is it a okay?
That
Doesn't
settles.
matter.
We'll figure that out later. If you win, we'll show you what a platypus is.
No, don't say that.
Done.
Oh,
But
Dig
yeah,
up,
I'm
sir,
going
dig
to.
up.
So
Yeah.
you guys are doing this as you're walking?
sure. That could work.
After I've put my blanket from my backpack kind of over him as a rough cloak, so he doesn't. So he sticks out slightly less in his wax figure version of a human.
Okay.
I'm sorry, all I'm imagining is like Gumby but gray.
Basically, with a little bit more definition.
Yeah, a little more definition, a little less head.
Enough to hit the uncanny valley.
Yeah, just
All right. And I assume you guys are making your way to the Black Cauldron. Was that your
Yep.
next destination, or did you guys have somewhere else in
that's-
mind?
that's my next destination.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Ceres doesn't have to be tagging along with me at this point, unless she wants to continue drinking.
I'm going to the brothel.
Yeah,
Okay.
she wanted to go there, so.
Okay. So Saris is probably going to start making her way down to
To the relic district.
Relic District.
Also, I want to see if I have some old friends there. It's fine.
Is
Oh.
Beeble? Did you bring Beeble with you?
Beeble, well, I feel like Beeble, you're playing the game with Garok, and like I don't want to split that up.
I mean, I thought we were all going to the Black Cauldron.
I mean, I don't need soup now,
We
so
started
okay,
that
it's
way,
fine. I can eat later.
I'm not going to the Black Cauldron. I'm going to the brothel.
Yeah.
Right, I
I'm
don't need
heading there
soup
because
now.
I want to keep drinking, and since everyone else has had food and drink and gotten to town, I figured if they wanted to come with me and continue drinking, that's fine. If they want to go elsewhere, whatever. But Darren knows what he's doing pretty much for the rest of the day and night.
I would just follow Darren then.
Okay.
Cool.
So one more time, is Beeble going with Saris?
I mean, the game works if Sarah says platypus too, right?
Hey, don't try to like throw Beeble onto me.
You wanted to take Beeble to the brothel.
Fine, let's go to the brothel.
You don't have to take Beeble to the brothel. I'm just saying, I thought that's what you wanted. I was confused.
Listen, it's fine that you're throwing
Oh, no,
a
we
child on
lost
the woman.
Oh, great.
Okay,
Oh.
so all right.
Should we perception check to see if we noticed we lost a Beeble while we were talking about this?
I think that would be passive perception.
Oh no.
One, so hang on.
That does match my passive. So I think that means he beats my passive perception.
No, Beeble successfully gets away because you guys have been so engrossed in trying to figure out where the hell you're going that Beeble has wandered off a while ago.
Sounds about right.
Oh, goodness.
So Beeble. So currently, you guys are kind of bunched up. You three are bunched up, but Beeble has gone off elsewhere.
All right, fine. Just go to the brothel. We'll take Beeble with us to the inn. We'll get him a room, and he can. I do whatever it is Beeble does.
Okay, and you know what? While I'm in the Relic District, I'll try to find the people that hired us. I'm not wasting my time. I will look.
Yep, just let us know which particular ruin they're busy with now, so we can report tomorrow or the day after. I'm not certain which.
Will do.
Right.
All right, and then I'm gonna leave, but also I can't move my token, just so you know.
Yeah, that's because I just created it because it's not tied to your sheet for whatever reason. So
weird.
we'll fix that in the background at some point.
Just talking about this before we started streaming.
Tokens!
Oopsie doopsie. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the Relic District and I'm gonna fuck off.
Okay.
Ta-da!
Yeah.
Okay, and then Darian and Garuk, you originally meant to take Beeble with you, but at this point you look around, there's no Beeble to be seen. Nor this weird homunculi thing that he turned into.
Gorik, I don't think I'm going to be able to find Beeble if I try and look for him, honestly.
That would probably make two. How long? Okay, out of character. How long have we been traveling together?
Rough. So,
like before
the mission or after the mission?
I mean, after the mission. Like, yeah. How long between season 1 and season 2?
2.5 weeks.
Okay.
2.5 weeks. So I would probably feel some sort of responsibility at this point, unfortunately.
Like, I feel responsible, but I also feel like I'm more worried about what Beeble will do to anyone that finds him than I'm worried about what they'll do to Beeble. And right now, I almost feel like that is not my problem. And also that looking for him is going to be very fruitless.
I have been trying to make him not my problem for about 3 weeks.
I've been wishing he wasn't my problem for about that long, and that hasn't worked at all.
Look at the doggo. Oh, fuck.
So we should start looking for Beeble.
Yes.
Adorable dog. Yay, dog.
You know, let's stop by... Would I happen to know if there's a shop in the Gold District that that sells, like, bottles of alcohol? Darren really doesn't want to do this search sober.
Roll. Let's see here. Let me check something real quick. I would say, because you have been here before, you can go ahead and roll I guess, history check with advantage.
Okay.
Just because it is in your history. That's how I'm interpreting that.
Okay. 16 then.
Yeah, there's a couple bulk good distributors that definitely are kind of the ones who are brewing and distributing out to the taverns.
Okay. So, like, we could stay in the Bronze District to find one of them?
Find
the nearest one, or...
Yeah, there's a couple places. There's one or two of these brewers in the Bronze District.
All right. Well, in that case, I'm going to just figure out which one is nearest and head that way while we keep an eye out for Beeble.
Okay. All right, and you make your way along some back streets. You do inevitably come across the brewer. In the meantime, let's actually tune into Saris as she makes her way across town to the Relic District. So
Excellent.
where are you going to go first? Because I believe you said that you were going to either go talk to the brass scripts or go to the brothel.
So I will be responsible first, and I will go find the brass script. Maybe not necessarily make contact with them, but I want to see where they are and what they're doing.
Okay. Well, as you enter the Relic District, yeah, it's definitely the seedy part of town. It's definitely run down. Where the Bronze District definitely had kind of like this half and half dynamic of, wooden buildings and slightly restored stone building. The Relic District is a lot more of lean-tos and tents.
Reminds me
Mostly.
of home.
So, and the occasional what very burnt out, ruined buildings of old, like the very older note, the burnt out stone buildings. The particular area of the Relic District that you are looking for is not very hard. So everyone knows where the brass grips will be, if nothing else, to steer clear. in case they might be
stay out of the blast radius.
Yeah,
right.
In case they might be working. And so you kind of find their kind of little tent compound, which is a little bit closer to the waterfront. So.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like just a small. It's almost like a small. Again, probably the equivalent would be. I don't want to say military camp. But like maybe.
I mean, like a dig site camp, yeah.
Yeah, dig site camp.
Lots of tents, lots of random.
There's maybe 20 or so tents here of various sizes and shapes. And a couple of said tents are definitely bunk tents. And emblazoned on most of them is the symbol of the brass grips, which is a brass feather quill and in a yellowed piece of parchment.
Okay. I guess so. I can see what they're doing. I can see where they're at.
You can see they're not currently on fire.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
There are people working there right now, currently. Yes.
Yep. There's people going to and fro of various sizes and shapes.
Okay. Can I theoretically find the person who hired us?
You can try. Because the last time you saw him was when you guys were at quote unquote base camp all the way up at Orun. But pretty much the posting was that as soon as you guys were done, you would make your way down to Night Runner's hold to report in and give an okay, essentially.
Okay. I am I close enough to where like there are people passing me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna grab the closest person. I'm gonna grab them.
You have to pay for that first, miss.
No. So I'm gonna grab the closest person. I'm gonna lean real close, and I'm gonna say, "Hey, my name's Saris Morgan. I was hired, and I ended up going through a shit ton of trouble. So if you want to find me, I will be at the brothel, and then I will let him go."
Your people skills are amazing.
Roll me.
Yes.
This poor schmuck.
I am like on the fence of whether. Roll me an intimidation. Because that's essentially what this is. Because what you did was the closest individual that you picked up wasn't a tall person. You picked up a gnome.
Oh shit!
So you did not
picked,
just grab him; you lifted him off the ground.
You essentially picked a gnome off the ground, and he had a handful of some kind of contraption in his hands.
Yeah, well, that sounds like some shit. Go get my money.
So, and he looks up and he's like frozen and like confused, frozen. Like 404 file not found. Kind of what the fuck just happened? As you're essentially holding him by the hem of his robes.
Oh no!
And he's still holding this box as you are unloading all of this on him. He's like, can you put me down now?
Nope.
Please?
Listen, you gonna get me my money? Here's the thing. You find whoever you need to find. I'm going to be at a brothel, knee deep in titties.
Okay. Please put me down.
I will set him down
Nice
now.
timing.
I'll set him down now and go on my way.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna go to the brothel.
I'm gonna take this moment and say I do not envy you being the DM of this game, Joe.
And all I can say is this is tame in comparison to the other D&D game I am running right now. But you narrowly avoided me rolling to see if maybe what he had in his hand might be one of them concerning experiments. But I decided
we lost our first party member in a successful intimidation check in which the gnome shat himself and also blew them both up.
Never split up the party.
Yep. All right. So we are actually going to tune into Beeble now.
Yep, that sounds about right.
So because Beeble's been gone for a little while now, and ever since he had pretty much just left a Beeble-shaped, homunculi-shaped hole in the air as he went off to go do something else. So, Beeble, what have you been doing?
So as they were so boringly just blabbering and like, what are we gonna do and where are we gonna go? It's like, oh my god, there's some.
I know.
And I don't know. Relic District. Right. Now you got the text message I sent you, right?
I have not. I saw the chat. I saw the private chat message.
Yeah. So in the teleconference chat message.
Okay. 1 second.
I'll give you a moment to read that before I continue.
Okay. Yep. I'll allow that. That sounds great.
Okay.
I don't trust that.
So I use that ability.
Oh,
and I
God.
just
work
dodge and weave and you just kind of wander through town. Now, because they were giving a big stink about the form that Beeble took and throwing the hide over, the blanket over me, I might not be intelligent, but I'm actually quite wise. So I'm like, okay, this means that this isn't quite right.
Mm.
So instead, I do make myself look exactly like Tosh.
God, I hope he doesn't have any debts.
Okay.
Or enemies or anything.
And so I just kind of am making my way through the streets looking like this half-orc, wandering around, waving at people. This big half-orc wearing the innkeeper's smock, waving at people.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not doing anything otherwise, but I'm standing there as I'm seeing Saris arrive, and I'm seeing her pick up this gnome, saying about the because I arrive, a couple minutes ahead of her, right?
Mm-hmm.
Based on that ability.
Yep.
Okay. So I look around and I'm watching her, and as she goes off, I go down. I go over to the gnome, and I'm just sort of looking down, and with this quick.
Oh dear.
With a +5 too. Damn.
Yeah, the dice did not like that idea.
The dice
Nope.
says no. Okay, what were you trying to do?
So what I'm doing is I was trying to make my voice sound like Tosh's, but it probably sounds more like, "Hi."
Like, the gnome is
Like-
still standing there, still holding on to his gadget. And he blinks and then looks at you as like, "Hey."
Hi.
Quick question.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but I'm trying. Does Alter Self let you change your size category, or are you
I'm
just
also
a very?
I'm just a little. I'm a short half orc.
Okay, I just that's all I wanted to know.
I'm like a 4 foot tall half orc.
That is amazing.
The mass has to come from somewhere.
Holy cow.
Hi. I sound like a 12-year-old going through puberty.
So you look like a teenaged half orc, but with the build of a full-grown fucking man.
Exactly.
Holy crap, that is amazing.
Yes.
Where are the brothels?
And like this gnome is just like and he points in general direction. That away. Are
Okay.
you okay? You don't sound
Yeah.
so good.
Fine. Why do you ask?
No reason. And like this gnome kind of is like, you might want to watch out for a tiefling. And then
Why?
because she's crazy.
That's
And
true.
then this gnome goes toddling off to some other tent.
To not
That's
get
weird.
harassed.
It's been a long day for
Thinking,
that gnome.
hmm.
That poor gnome.
As soon as the gnome leaves, I'm like, okay, and I turn into the gnome.
At least you're the right size category.
Yeah,
now.
right? No shit.
Just right there.
Yeah, just right there, and I start walking towards the brothel.
Okay,
Oh my
hang on.
God.
Hang on 1 second.
Like,
Beeble has no idea that this
he
is possibly
really
bad.
doesn't.
That's.
Oh
man.
my god.
All
This
right.
is like a sitcom now. It's like.
Yeah, yeah,
You have let
Indy does that occasionally.
you have let basically somebody who has been raised
Mhm.
as an infiltrator into the city.
Yeah.
No, I get it.
There's a reason Darren doesn't want to do this search sober. He knows it's not going to end well at this point. He figured that out already.
Yeah.
He just can't get over the guilt. And he is very much more concerned for the people in this city than he is for Beeble.
All right.
Beeble will be fine. Darren has
So,
learned.
Beeble, before we
Yeah.
move on to the detective duo over here, I need you to roll a die of fate. Roll me a d20, please.
All right. Oops. 1d20. Oops. It would help if I typed the wrong or the right. Hold on.
Well.
Oh no!
We're gonna come back
no.
to you. All right,
Oh god!
Garuk and Darian, you have found a
about right.
brewery.
That's about
Mhm.
right.
It is.
It's a small little brewery. This is pretty much a craft beer brewery, kind of thing.
Do they have any hard liquor at all?
Are we still in the same district? Bronze?
You guys are still in the Bronze District.
Right.
So it's yeah, they have some hard they do have some hard stuff. It's like Applejack and like moonshine. Really, really basic stuff. It's not like whiskey or anything that would be aged.
I don't need it to be fancy. I need it to be liquor.
Okay. So they will. So they are going to inquire about how much you are looking for.
Look, I need at least one full bottle for myself.
Okay. For a bottle of moonshine, it'd be 2 silver.
Right. Grook, you want anything?
I'll take the same. I think that Garuk kind of sees it as like a challenge sort of thing. Like he's got to go shot for shot.
Oh. Oh
No-
man.
No way.
This is going to be a long night and a longer morning. All right. So
2 silver.
2 silver.
Gotcha.
you know, on second thought, I'm gonna double my order.
Ah, fuck. Okay.
Oh, this is going to end very,
Terribly.
very poorly. All right.
Now let me make a quick insight check to see if I understand why Garuk changed his mind to 2. Okay. All right. I'll stop at 2 bottles then.
Well,
or is that
okay, I guess we're gonna go with this then. All right, so it's seeing you could both buy bottles. Like the brewer's like, if you buy the entire cask, we'll give you a discount. Normally, a cask is a full gold, but we'll sell you a full cask for 8 silver. So that's 2 silver
it.
knocked off.
Oh no.
right then? I'll slap down the 8 silver then.
Okay, you guys now have, so between you two, you have a full cask of moonshine. And a full cask is going to be about 5 gallons of moonshine.
Oh my god.
Toss a coin to your witcher. Oh, Sally,
Wait. Okay, so we have a cask now. Do we have anything to drink out of? Because I don't think I have a cup in my gear. In my random gear.
I would assume that you guys would probably have some form of cup as part of
I
your
would-
mess kit.
I would. I would presume that the bar would provide a cup, right?
Do they have like cups we could or flasks we could buy here? I'm kind of thinking not, because if this is the distillery,
they'd sell you a couple of just kind of run down flasks or tin cups.
Let's
5
take
copper, like 5 copper.
Let's take a real world example here. If you get a pitcher at a bar, they don't just give you the pitcher.
No, that's fair. I was just thinking, since it's a distillery, they might not be set up. But yeah, I'll throw in one more silver so that we have something to pour into, so that we're not like just trying to do keg stands with this thing while we search.
Yeah. So
wow,
you guys
I didn't know you were a quitter.
Yeah, you guys get.
It makes searching harder when you try and keg stand and walk at the same time.
You guys get some kind of dinged up pewter mugs. So they're not anything fancy.
We'll have to get ourselves some proper flasks later. We should start looking for people now. After a cup. Starts pouring before leaving the distillery.
Do you both go ahead and pour yourselves a cup right now and knock it back?
Yep. Let's cheers and everything.
All right. It has been noted.
Yep.
So, all right. Where's the first place you guys are going to look?
Well, Devil kind of knows what an inn is. And... oh god, I have no fucking clue where Devil might be. Can I insight check this? Just to see if I can figure out Beeble's train of thought after wandering off.
Good luck.
I'm aware.
You can try, but at a -3.
Yeah, that sounds about right. 21. I'm actually good at this skill. At
Beeble,
least.
roll me a deception real quick. Let's see.
Sure.
Well, you know that he was curious
tonight.
about the brothel.
Oh.
So
do you think he might have followed Ceres? He was really interested in that brothel. Not necessarily eating the broth, but like trying to figure out what it was.
It's worth a shot.
Aye. All right, let's go ahead and Relic District, I think. So that way, pointing generally south.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then that is where we're going to leave off on you guys, and we're going to come back to Ceres. So,
okay.
Yep. So last we saw you were making your way to the brothel. So, considering that you've been here before, do you have a favored brothel?
What are the names of the brothels?
These are not named places. These are
the
kind
salty
of
swallow.
Do you have a favorite type, basically?
I want to go to the brothel with independent, sassy, diverse, crabby women.
Okay.
That's where I want to go.
That's a lot of adjectives.
Listen, I'm not here to try and go to like the
I have a name
floor. I'm looking for dirt floors, good bar food, and titties.
Okay.
I think I have a name for it for you.
Yeah.
The Jaded
the salty
Comb.
spittoon?
The Jaded Comb.
Oh.
Yeah.
Again, sorry, I was going for more of a pun on the jaded thing, but that's Salty Spittoon is a classic. Not for a brothel name though.
Again, though, I will reiterate the brothels of the Relic District are not named because generally you can kind of tell like individual groups, quote unquote, that make up the brothel.
Being totally serious, I'm gonna go to the brothel where I have thieves' connections, and I know the girls dancing there, or women that work the brothel. You know what I mean?
Thieves' connection is a background ability, right?
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
I'm going to a seedy area for a reason.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So
besides the hits.
Yeah. So, but yeah, just to kind of finish the sentence though, yeah, brothels aren't named here because they're just it's essentially a collection of tents because, you know, sometimes unwanted attention happens and so they pick up and then they move to a different part of the district.
Out of curiosity, is prostitution illegal here?
It's not illegal, but consider the nature of the work and the kind of people who do partake. Sometimes trouble comes knocking and they have to relocate.
No, that totally makes sense. I just want to know if this was one of those things where it's like they get raided by the cops occasionally, or if it was just unsavory people, murder, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
the latter.
Okay.
So you wander around a little bit, but eventually you find the grouping you are looking for, and you
Okay.
know that is in fact the group you're looking for because their collection of tents, in comparison to some of the other more shabby tents, is a little bit better upkept, and has especially notable is a very scarlet red tent, like a larger like a group canopy tent like you would see like in like a military camp. So it's more meant to seat like 10 or 12 people inside for mess.
Okay.
You walk up and essentially you get into the tent, and it's definitely a show tent, in which there's a lot of smoke in the air. Various people and creatures are sitting in various seats, smoking pipes of one thing or another, and various exotic women are dancing in the midst of the tent in the firelight of a large central fire pit. So
Okay.
there seems to be like essentially like a little um camp table set up in the corner with a rather burly guy sitting next to it, and what seems to be a case of various liquors. So, and you can see that this tent in particular, there are definitely a couple of bouncers essentially that are keeping an eye on things to make sure that no one's causing too much trouble.
Okay.
So,
So I think my first course of action is I'm gonna walk up to the closest bouncer and I'm gonna slip him a gold piece and I'm gonna say, "Hey man, how's it going? How are things looking in here?"
eh, looking like another day. The individual you have walked up to is a fairly slim but still very stacked half elf.
Mhm.
But one who is favoring like leather armor.
Okay.
So and this armor is actually decently upkept. It definitely doesn't look new.
Okay.
But he definitely looks a little bit better to do than just a like, and all the bouncers kind of look like, more than a little bit of a bouncer. With in terms of gearing, but he looks at you as like, yeah, it's going about as expected. So you're Saris, ain't you?
I'm absolutely serious. What's your name?
Dingo.
Okay. So I'm gonna go talk to the big guy over there. If you have any trouble, you let me know, and I'll help you out.
All right. Well, just try not to cause too much of a ruckus. All right.
Not here, not ever. I'm assuming because I'm familiar with the group that either I know most of the dancers or I know a lot of the staff.
They're definitely somewhat familiar faces. The
Okay.
dancers you definitely recognize, and the bouncer, like, you've been here before and you've done business. So the bouncers are aware. That's the whole reason why Dingo could recognize you a bit,
Okay.
because you've done business with them before. So
Okay. So I guess if you want me to, I'll roll a perception check. But I want to. I mean, I don't know because I'm familiar with the group. Is it safe to assume that the larger guy with the liquor is in charge?
so yeah, he would be in charge of what you would be interested in, which is
Okay.
the more of the back end dealings versus
Okay.
the dancers themselves.
Okay. So I'm gonna go talk to him.
All right. So yeah, it's a rather built uh words are escaping me. Uh he's a rather built half orc. So, but fairly. So, but in comparison to Tosh, and even comparison to the other bouncers, this individual is actually fairly well dressed. Like not like obviously like dressed to the nines to where you would immediately do a double take in the relic district, but he definitely looks a little bit more put together than everybody else. So and from your past dealings with him, you know him as again pulling a name out of the ether right now, Tori. So and he's kind of the go-to guy for if you have something that's some stuff need doing.
Does he speak the common tongue, or what language does he speak?
Most people in Knife Runner's Hold will be speaking common.
Okay. So. Okay. Tori, how you doing?
Well, if it's little Sarah Morgan.
Oh, you know I always wander my way back. Come on, how can I miss a place like this?
Well, you're still as flattering of a liar as ever, so...
Oh, come on. He who lies the best wins, right?
Yeah, can't argue with that logic.
Listen, I came to grab a drink and see what you had going on, and of course, indulge in your lovely ladies.
None of that can be arranged. So I take you back from whatever. What is that little settlement up north? Didn't last time you were here? You said you were heading up north for some gig or something, right?
Yeah, turned out to be a bust.
Well, sometimes luck is with you. Sometimes luck just wants to, well, drag you behind the cart.
Yeah, I mean that's how it is. That's gotta play the game.
So Tori will pull out like a not like top shelf, but definitely not swill. And he'll pour in 2 shot glasses and he'll pour one out for you and him.
Okay.
So well, as to what's going on, I mean, same old, same old. So
Well, to your health, my friend, and then I will take the drink. But here's the thing. So I'm going to take the drink at the same time he does.
Mhm.
Because I feel like we've worked with each other, but we don't trust each other.
Yeah, Tori knocks it back just fine.
Okay. So then I will at the same time he does.
Yep. So yeah, if you're looking for a little bit of extra work, there might be a few people around who could use some light fingers. So, but
like who?
Oh, there's that. Let's see here. There's that squat halfling over in Brass District. Let's see here. You know, the loudmouth annoying one. The one that was constantly on and on about his damn books.
Jax. Yeah.
Yeah. So, apparently someone knobbed off with a rare book or something, and so he's been looking to get back at some dipshit or another. So
was that just you passing off the naming to?
Give me a break.
Good job.
Give me a break, guys. I am literally pulling half of the shit out of midair.
That was fucking brilliant, dude.
It was well done indeed.
But
listen, I got it. It's been established now.
Yeah,
nope,
it's
we're
awesome.
not complaining. It's good.
Does he want to set an example, or does he want him to hurt?
Yeah, it's not wet work. It sounds more like just making some things disappear kind of work. So,
Okay.
and you know he probably ain't got that much. So puts all of his money in them damn books, and well, nobody else buys the damn things. Fuck, I'm
Uh,
still
tell,
reeling after that one when that one knucklehead just dropped off a crate of the damn things. I still got like 20 books.
tell me what you know about the brass. Not the brass district. I'm sorry. Who
The brass
the people that
scripts.
the
Yeah.
brass scripts? What have they been up to?
Well, they haven't blown themselves up in at least a month. That's saying something.
Yeah.
I
Well, I
mean,
mean, I might have a bone to pick with them if they don't pay me.
I thought you said the job went tits up.
I mean, it did. We ended up getting captured by the Mog.
Uh,
That wasn't included
Mog,
in.
M
That's
O
what I
G.
said. That's what I said.
Yeah.
It sounded like bog on this end.
No, I'm sorry. We got captured by the Mog, and let's just say I didn't have any like at-risk pay.
Ugh. When you say job went tits up, you really do have a job that goes tits up.
Tell him about the volcano.
But
What? Who was that?
Yeah.
as far as I know, the scripts have been still buying up whatever trinkets or bits of gizmo that anybody has been bringing in, but
Okay.
nothing worth lifting. Not that anybody wants to buy a random piece of junk that nobody understands or, has a risk of blowing them to smithereens.
Can I assume that he's left the bottle on the counter?
Yeah,
I'm gonna pour both of us another one, but I'll put 2 silver pieces on the bar.
so. But, yeah, so. Other than that, there's some. I've been hearing rumblings of some fat merchant over in Gold District wanting something pricey, but I mean, I ain't got
Mm.
time. I ain't got time to wander up there.
Fat merchant, as in like it might be more worth it to rob him, or
Well, I mean, you do what you do. I mean, you know as well as I do that trying to lift anything out of that district freaking kicks over the beehive for a good month afterwards.
that's true. I don't want to get you and your girls in trouble, man. I'm going to lift my drink. Thanks for the info. And I mean, I don't know, sorry, outside of character, what a good cost for information is. You know
So
what I mean?
two silver. Considering your working relationship and essentially, Tori's offense for the most
Right,
part, as well as work, in charge of making sure the working girls aren't troubled.
right. Yep.
But you have a good working relationship with him, so 2 silver is fair because essentially you're not paying for the drink, you're paying for the information because he offered the drink willingly.
Okay. Okay, so I will raise the glass and I'll say, thanks for the information. And I will let him know I'm not going to cause any trouble for you and your girls. Maybe I'll check with my group and see what it is we want to do. But if you hear anything, you let me know.
All right. So.
And in the meantime, I'm going to go take a seat.
Okay. And with that, we are going to come back to Beeble.
Hi.
So
Hi.
So Beeble
Hi.
has after your conversation with the gnome, you transformed on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
Next to an active camp of a lot of people doing work.
Oh.
That you call so you after you change, you look around and you see like 6 or 7 people, like like 2 of them are like just bystanders, but the rest of them are all brass scripts. They are all looking at you, looking mortified.
I just start walking away.
Changeling. So, and suddenly there calls out of changeling ringing out, and suddenly we are hearing essentially like police whistles and like tapping on metal as loud klaxons. Um, and you start and go ahead and make me a perception check. Okay, yeah, you clearly hear the heavy boot stompings as a jingle of armor rapidly approaching. Like again, you're kind of leisurely walking away, approaching where the call went up.
Okay. Um, the area that I'm walking into, what does it look like? Is it like a cluster of
It's a cluster.
homes? Is it open, or is it a cluster of buildings, broken ruins? Is it?
It's
Like,
right
what is
now,
it?
since you were at the edge of the brass scripts territory. It's actually fairly open because nobody wants to live next to the guys who have a tendency to explode. It's about maybe 100 yards until you start seeing like speckled tents loosely apart. Just kind of the people who are kind of brave enough to at least live like about 100 yards away from exploding people. Um, but otherwise, there's a few low leftover brick and mortar kind of ruins.
Mhm.
And definitely some like old foundations, but otherwise it's fairly open.
Okay. I am going to use a combination of that and hold on, that. Just gonna go to one of the ruins, change into somebody, walk away, try to hide, use it again because I can use it twice. Misty step again, 30 feet further away into another ruin, change into somebody else, and then just keep walking calmly. Beeble's a slippery little fucker.
Don't have to tell us twice.
We've
So
noticed,
I don't know how
yes.
you want that to be done, whether that's stealth or deception or
Roll
some...
me a deception. And you are going
Roll.
to have to roll this at disadvantage because the entire quarter is now all in a buzz because the cry of changing has gone off.
Nice.
Thanks, Dice. I appreciate it.
Apparently, the town is having issues rolling anything over a 9 today.
Well, in all fairness, everyone knows that changelings are medium-sized creatures.
It's true. Everyone knows that.
But okay, you definitely slip into anonymity. However, do give me a quick performance check. Let's see how good your disguise is. So you're...
Oh wait, is that? That was a disadvantage, but whatever.
Yeah, disadvantage will actually make sense because you're kind of quickly sliding into different identities, and maybe it
Oh yeah, I
wasn't
mean
something.
my knowledge of other races is very limited, so it's still, unusual. But
Yeah.
I.
So yeah, you definitely have kind of shaken immediate notice, but if anybody is actively looking at you super hard, they notice that you are definitely not the proportions you're supposed to be. So but yeah, so you're going to continue onward. Are you just going to...
I mean, I have no idea that I don't look like I'm supposed to look.
Yeah.
So I'm just walking, not waving at anybody at this point. People are unfriendly here. It's annoying. And I'm just going to go towards wherever that gnome was pointing, towards the soup place, aka the brothels.
Okay. So yeah, you wander further into the relic district and the little tent city that it is. People are abuzz and are looking around, and there's the boots and clattering of guardsmen going to and fro. Um, and there is talk of locking the district down.
Okay.
So, but
I'm just trying to keep a low key, and I rolled a stealth to do so. Just
yep.
ducking, around a corner or behind a barrel or whatever. Just casually strolling.
Okay. So,
Yep.
yep. But you probably don't end up at the same
No,
tent group of Saris. So
that's
you
that's perfectly understandable.
so, but you definitely do smell something tasty. So, if it smell if a little strange to your nose.
I mean, garbage is tasty to people.
So, but it's something that smells funky.
Well, I gotta try that out.
Ooh, that smells like the good broth.
That's right.
All right, you wander over to a grouping of tents. These tents are definitely a little wore down. There's
Oh,
various holes in them. One of them looks like it's got a dry rot working along the roof of it. But you do notice what seems to be um a group of very scraggly individuals. It looks like a human, a half elf, and a halfling kind of gathered around a pot, and they're all muttering to themselves as muttering amongst themselves. You can definitely tell with your nose that the smell's coming from the pot. So, but
I'm interested.
okay. Do you just wander up, or
Kitty.
Yeah, basically.
okay?
Kitty.
Hi.
What? Uh, what form are you in right now?
Since I saw gnomes, probably as a gnome.
Uh, hi. You need something?
Yeah, that smells good. Can I have some?
Oh, get a load of this guy. Green guy, get a load of this one. So the halfling pokes, like, the halfling is like across the cauldron from you, and it kind of looks like we have a moment of him standing on his tiptoes to look over it, and it's just like, yeah, what? So and you were talking to like the human, and the half elf is kind of giving you a look of how dare you come wandering up before he's adding some more stuff to the pot.
Mhm.
So it's like,
What is he adding?
make a perception check.
Okay.
He uncorked, so it's something out of a bottle. It definitely is something that looks a little mystical in nature. It's very like kind of reddish, like a ruddy red, kind of rust colored liquid that he is pouring into the pot from a small bottle. So, um, so it's like, look, I don't know who you think you are, but
Good.
you best be going.
Okay. I just wanted to eat. I'm just kind of hungry.
Yeah, this isn't food.
What is it?
None of your business.
Oh. Okay. Walk away.
He-
So like the guy the human watches you go, and he's kind of
Can you close the door, please?
furrows
Sorry.
his brow a little bit. His like, and then kind of has a moment of processing. So
Aw. Kitty.
before he shrugs and he turns around to go back to the pot.
Okay.
So all right. We are going to, let's see here. We are
He freaked out. He heard the barking.
Aw, poor kitty.
owie.
Ow.
right. We are going to probably get through one more round robin here, and then we will probably be at end of session. So let's go back to our detective duo.
Side note, I don't know if people watching remember how little he used to be.
Mm-hmm.
He used to be teacup sized.
And now he's so big.
Josh.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's
That's
okay.
it.
It's a cat stream. Cat stream.
Cat stream.
So, how close to the relic district were we when we heard the freaking alarms start going off?
So you are probably halfway past the steel district.
Okay.
I've got another question, real quick.
Yeah.
How much we drank so far?
Yeah, that's my other question I was going to ask you guys. How many times have you stopped in the middle of the street to pour yourself another pair of mugs out of this keg that you guys bought?
Okay, well, where we were in the steel district.
We were in the bronze district.
You guys were all the way in the bronze district, and you're halfway through the steel district right now. So that's
He's too drunk to remember where he is.
I'm gonna say
that's fair. Very in character.
three mugs moonshine.
Probably. We're trying to make, we're not trying to stop every time we finish a cup.
Okay.
Right.
I need both of you to roll me a Constitution check or Constitution save, and do it with a -2 modifier.
Okay. Thanks to Dwarven resilience and the fact that alcohol is a poison, I get advantage.
That's true.
Aha!
Darn. Yeah, you're fine. I mean, let's be honest here. Yeah, you're a raging alcoholic. So this hasn't the moonshine hasn't phased you. You definitely can tell that it's pretty strong stuff. Like, must have been some stuff that they brought off the still maybe just today. Kind of strength. Go Rook. Yeah, you're feeling a little bit of a buzz, but you're not inhibited. So you can so the stuff burns like fire every time you take a swig of it, but it's not horrible.
Smooth.
But
hey, they certainly didn't cheap out on us.
But you guys get about halfway through the steel district when the klaxons and the police whistles start sounding off, and you suddenly see just a bunch of guards who are just patrolling the street just stiffen up, turn on their heel, and start running towards the relic district.
That has to be Beeble.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow.
Yep.
For sure.
Wait. First, let's refill. We're going to be running. We're not going to have enough time to pour again. Come on.
Gotta hydrate.
Yep.
Yeah. It's dwarferade.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Constitution saves from both of you at -3.
Right.
-3. Oh, okay. I see what's happening here.
Yeah.
You guys are still good.
Nice.
So,
14.
All right. So yeah, we'll.
So short of,
I guess we're trucking into the relic district.
It's a short. It's a short amount. It's a short jaunt. It takes you about 10 minutes at kind of a trot to get to the relic district with people, with guards rushing in to establish a perimeter, and nobody able to leave.
I'm just imagining a kind of drunk dwarf trotting.
I
Oh fuck!
we
Hopping
dwarves
out
are
of, like, a
natural
log.
splinters.
But but yeah,
Nice line.
but various guardsmen in armor, so some of which are in leather armor that is well kept, and then a few wearing full on chainmail and conical caps are essentially forming an outer perimeter, and you could even see the robes of what appears to be one or two mages. Um, also, kind of at various points. And it seems like if anyone wants to leave the relic district, they have to go to a mage who looks them over, makes a gesture, and there's a little bit of a flash of magic, and then generally they wave them through.
So did we hear any of the cries of changeling, or did we just hear the alarms?
You heard the alarms. You
Okay.
were a little far off for that initial call to go up.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. So we don't exactly know why they're doing what they're doing. Just
yep.
We know it's probably Beeble related.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No trust. No trust.
No, we have plenty of trust. It's just,
We trust that you're behind this.
Yes.
Oh, you have high wisdom too.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not sure at this point.
So, are there, just from what we've seen, did it look like there were multiple mages?
Yes, there's.
Okay.
Like, you guys can see one or two, but this is also a fairly high traffic area.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it would, consider what you guys are seeing right now, it would be safe to assume and put two and two together that this is a checkpoint, and there's probably other checkpoints.
Right. So next question, did they send people into the interior? Like, do they have people, like, bringing people towards checkpoints, or are they just stationary? Are there city guards milling about, or?
Make a perception check. At -3.
That sounds right. So yeah, 13.
So, yeah, you notice that they're not like pushing, like herding people to these checkpoints.
Okay.
They are in fact just mostly just checking anybody who wants to leave the relic district. But other than that, unless individuals are looking to leave, they are leaving them unaccosted. But every one of the soldiers is looking in towards the relic district and keeping a very, very sharp eye. And there's several additional guards around each mage, just kind of keeping an overwatch. In fact, a couple people are it's almost like a pair of guards are constantly looming with crossbows, just waiting on results from the mages.
Okay.
Hey, listen. Hey, listen.
What?
Linda, listen.
What is it, Garrett? What?
Hey, we can sneak by these guys.
Are we already inside the perimeter?
No, you guys are on the outskirts of the perimeter.
I'm sorry. Is the Goliath gonna sneak?
I don't.
Hey, listen.
Listen. I don't know if we really have to, but But I suppose if we go in and come right back out, they might be a little suspicious. So yeah, let's sneak in.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So
this is gonna end up so bad.
oh yes. But hopefully in only the best way possible. So stealth, I assume.
Yep, stealth at
At a minus
-3.
Oh wait. Before we go, one more for good luck.
I don't even have to push them to do it. I don't even have to ask.
-4.
All right.
-4.
All right. First things first. If you both drink, I need a Constitution save for both of you at -4.
Yep.
Oh, thank you, advantage.
Yep. All right. Now, yep, you can make your stealth rolls at -4.
Four. All right.
That sounds about right.
Hard as fuck,
Literally,
stealthy
as I
as
am
a stone.
stealthing, I am the stealthiest dwarf in the world.
and as I press myself up against the wall, I'm like, dun, dun,
Yes!
dun, dun, dun.
So, and in reality, what we see is two very drunk party members essentially try to sneak right by a checkpoint wizard who hears a commotion. Several guards are like eyeballing you guys straight up.
They're just giggling to each other. That's all it is. They're just giggling to each other as they're trying
The
to
wizard, the mage is just like, all right, and he points a thing. He makes a gesture at both of you, and you both kind of light up for a half second, and then he looks at the guards and be like,
I'm sorry, but this parallels so many drunken nights that I've had. Like,
yeah, that's fair.
really
Yeah.
does.
but
Sounds about right.
But you both stumble into the relic district. You guys have no trouble just wandering in.
Like a couple drunken assholes.
Yeah, you guys are definitely feeling the effects of your drinks.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh. And we're
Yeah.
gonna come back to you. I may have lied earlier. We might come back and we might end the session with you two knuckleheads. Because that's gold. Alright.
Everything has worked out so fucking perfectly. It's
It really
ridiculous.
has.
Alright. Saris.
Yes.
It's been a little bit of time. You've enjoyed some dances
honestly-
with your favorite dancer. If you
see.
want
playing-
more, if you want more
I'm
than
playing with
just
my
a
cat.
Oh,
playing with,
kitty.
He's behind the computer, so I'm just kind of sliding my hand over the computer and tapping him, and then under to tap his foot. It's very exciting.
yeah,
We're having a good time. Whoop. Oop,
Right.
fuck.
yeah. Just let's try not to have the camera go down the front of your shirt.
Hey, listen.
So,
Hey,
but
For the sake of the
Hey,
children,
listen.
not for the children.
yeah. So, but yeah, you've been having a decent time. So it's you found one of your favorite dancers and been enjoying some time with her. Just she's dancing. If you
Is
wanted,
she the
if,
Yennefer to my Geralt?
if she wants if you want more than that, that's the kind of thing you have to pay for. But
I want more.
but as you are negotiating on a price,
Damn it.
hey, at
That-
least he didn't do it while after you paid.
Shit.
the call of changeling rings out, and you hear various klaxons and police whistles, and this does cause a little bit of stir in the tent. as everyone's looking around, and Tori is just like, "Oh God, damn it!"
How much of a stir? Like a stir, like
A
they're going
lot
to
of
be searched?
groans because they
Okay,
know
like
what's coming.
what's coming? Like they're going to be searched and raided, or
It means that um there's a whenever this, so you would know this because you've been here before, but
right?
um but when a changeling or some other creature of shape-shifting variety that might pose a threat to the city um crops up, they essentially lock the entire district down. And you cannot leave the district without going through uh, a member of the college's mage team, essentially, who casts Dispel Magic in order to see if you're a changeling or not. But
Okay.
as this goes on, um, and the more guard, and as soon as they have enough guards, they will slowly constrict around the entirety of the district and go through all of the tents and make
Okay.
everybody do a check.
Okay.
So, which means that happy fun times have to stop because otherwise you run the risk of essentially the guards popping in, telling you, "Hey, come on out. We need to scan you." And if you try to make an excuse, they are going to immediately shackle you and think you're a changeling.
Okay, so the entire relic district, like that whole triangle, has a border. Is that what you're saying? Like,
Yep.
wait,
From
I gotta draw. Wait, I
hang
can
on,
do this.
I will draw something real quick.
Like from here and here. Is that right?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So, yeah. As my entire thing derps for a hot second there, and so it jerked downward.
Sure. Okay, so
But
there's a border on the whole
probably
thing.
yeah, yep. There's a border, so essentially all the way out from the dock, um, to the dock and river, all the way
Okay.
to that intersection between the Copper District and the Relic District, and then all the way to the wall. So
Okay.
that way,
So
the only way, out that through the checkpoint would be into the river, which you know for sure since you've been here that going into the river is a very, very poor idea.
Shark attacks. Okay. So I suppose the first thing I'll do, because like you said, I'm familiar with the area. I've been here before. I have kind of a relationship with the owner. Is I will ask Tori, are there any changelings in this tent? Be honest. Now's your chance.
Oh, you think I know? Jesus
Okay.
Christ. This
So I'm gonna lean close to Tori. I'm gonna say, hey, collapse your tent, get 3 of your guys to carry that out of here, send your girls off in groups of 2, send them to the Copper District, the Steel District, and the Brass District in separate groups so as to appear inconspicuous. If they're not changelings, they will be fine.
I know that
You guys
much.
gotta clear out of here.
And Tori gives you the no, really look, because I mean, while you've been here, he lives here.
That's fair.
So it's like, how do I know you're not a changeling? Huh?
I'm gonna punch him in the stomach, but like in a friendly way of like you fucking know I'm not. Does a changeling hit like that? No.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay.
Seems legit.
Woo!
That's a persuasive punch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm very persuasive. Okay, so I'm gonna do that, and then as soon as I finish my discussion with
Yep.
Tori,
Yeah, and he makes to try to stop your punch out. He tries to catch it, and instead just poof, All right. Gee. So
You know what? New backstory. I feel like Tori and I are childhood friends. That's what
Brother from a different mother.
right? He and I are bros from different hoes. It's
There
fine.
you go.
Yep.
So I'm going to tell Tori that I will catch him another time. I'm going to leave the tent. And I guess I'm going to evaluate what's going on in the relic district, like in general, what's going on in the streets and
Okay,
everything
make
else.
make an investigation.
Okay.
And I will give you advantage since you're kind of in your element because this is kind of your turf.
Okay. Da-da-da-da.
Okay. Yeah, the main thing you recognize is just that everybody looks some form of annoyed, maybe a little bit nervous, and or looking like they're rapid, like especially the ones who may or may not have not great things on their person, because it
Okay.
is that district,
Yep.
look a little like distressed and like kind of disappointed because
Oh,
they
puppy.
so and
Yeah.
so but some people are going to where checkpoints would be. um Others are quickly are like either going into various tents or others to oh, there goes the headphones.
No, I can still hear you. You're fine. I'm just
Okay.
Boop.
But
I
yeah,
can still hear you. You're fine. I just had to open the door because cats.
yep.
Mm.
But various people who are obviously ducking in tents to hide their stashes of whatever happy drug they have.
Yeah.
So and it's but yeah, the general atmosphere is like nervous but also annoyed.
Okay. Um, I mean, honestly, I imagine I would walk towards where the brass script was to see if I can get my money. You know what I mean? Before they disappear.
Okay. Yeah, you start wandering your way that direction, and we're going to jump to our we're going to actually jump to Beeble
Okay.
real quick.
Sure.
So, Beeble.
Yep.
So the folks around the pot told you to essentially sod off, and yeah, and essentially the whole encounter of it's none of your business.
Yeah, just wander around,
Okay. Roll
walking around,
me.
see what there is to see.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a.
I mean, keep an eye out for whatever a soup tent might be. Brothel.
Okay. Roll me a d20 of fate, please.
Rip, rip.
Okay. So, all right. The main
I'm
thing.
gonna grab water really quick. I'm just coughing and I'm dying.
Yep. No worries. You're kind of milling. You passing through the crowd. You're noticing a tent here, a tent there. Some people are packing their tents away very rapidly. Other people seem to be tossing what to you looks like perfectly good broth of various colors out into the street, or behind tents. Just
Sounds are weird.
so various groups of guards are kind of like sweeping through trying to keep the peace, but I mean, you at least could tell that the atmosphere has definitely changed to, again, as mentioned with Saris, a little bit nervous and a lot of very annoyed people.
I am gonna do just something real quick here because I just want to see how people would act here. This is probably gonna go laughably, but I'm gonna make an intelligence check. That's about right.
Yeah,
That tracks.
Yep. It's been that kind of night. It's okay.
I go wandering up to a guard.
No.
And you're still in the
Don't
guise
do
of
that.
the gnome. Okay.
No, he changed. That was part of his get out of sight. Was he changed again?
And then
didn't
he changed back into the gnome.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
missed that part. Sorry.
All right.
Well, a gnome. It was a different gnome, but yeah, a gnome, or what I imagine a different gnome would look like.
So I'm imagining it's the same gnome, but like with
Different color hair.
a very ridiculous mustache.
The mustache doesn't match the hair
The
color.
hair.
It's like this.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, there's a trio of guards who are just kind of looking around. And you notice that a lot of people and teams are tending to steer clear of them, so you have no trouble getting to them.
Hi.
Hello.
So everybody's running around like all crazy, and like you're calm. So can you tell me what's going on?
Hold on.
Do I need to make like?
No, Jesus fucking Christ! You found the only guard in town dumber than you.
He shoots. He scores.
Good lord, these townies.
They just
These-
don't make guards like they used to.
Can't find good help these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Great
this
help.
guard is one of the ones wearing leather. And he looks over at you. Like he cocks an eyebrow a little bit, but then he like shrugs and he's like, "Well, so there's been a report of a changeling in the district, and well, we need to lock everything down."
Oh, that sounds scary. What's a changeling?
I can see how this is gonna go.
Play dumb, Miles. Who's Morales? Too dumb.
Oh,
There's
no.
the 20.
And like, and the
Oh,
guy
shit.
will like, "What do you mean? What's a changeling?" And like the two other guards are now looking at you very distinctly, and then one's like, "Hold on a second. Hey, ain't that Goro from the scripts? But what the fuck happened to your mustache?"
Platypus. Platypus.
And then like we're going to have a brief moment of dot like color pinwheel of death moment as the guards are kind of putting two and two together.
Doesn't gets it.
So what does Beeble do?
That's a surprisingly smart roll for people. That's
Yeah. He's like, I mean, people like react really weird when you're something, and so you got to do other things because you want to make friends. So, I mean, I'm not a changeling. I mean, I might have been the one to cause all the issues, and I'm sorry. It's not what I wanted to do, and I just changed back to Beeble form.
Oh, yep. That's not
Yeah.
The trio guards are like look at each other and look at you, and then they're gonna dogpile on you.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like full on football dogpile. And that's where we're gonna leave off on you. And we're gonna go back to the. So unfortunately, we're not gonna go back to Saris because I was wondering if you might have bumped into Saris wandering around town. I will say
that would have been.
So Sarah's probably all you've noticed in your time out has been the agitation, and then you hear "Get him!" and the thump of bodies, probably not horribly far away. But we're gonna tune back into the drunken duo.
Okay. All right, so we made it in. I think we should have another cup to celebrate victory. Pause.
Okay. You guys knock another one back?
Yep.
Gotta do it. Gotta do it.
All right. Constitution save at -5 at this point.
9.
Oh no, advantage may have failed me finally.
So we finally got below a 10 is what happened, right?
Okay, yep. So, okay, both of you are fracking plastered at this point.
That hit good on the last one, lad.
And you're not. And here's the hilarious thing: you're not even half. You're only about halfway through this keg.
I mean, that's pretty good considering it's straight liquor.
So, but in this instance, that pit was so good, you just have to take another.
All right, one more.
Hey, look at that one.
Oh no.
All right. So
that's -5 now.
Or if we're up another, then it's -6. So
yeah, it's at -6. So 14 minus 6 is
that's an 8.
8. Yep. So
yeah, which is the same as
Okay. Yeah. No, you guys are fucking plastered. Things are going to be very difficult from here on out. So what are you guys doing now?
They aren't now.
Okay, so
I'm standing in the middle of the street yelling, Babel!
I see nothing wrong with this plan. I will assist. Oh! I will assist with the thaumaturgy spell cantrip.
Oh, Lord.
The cry of Beeble rings across the city.
Yeah.
Just
my
as
voice can boom up to 3 times as loud as normal for a minute.
Oh, all right.
and I sound like I figure like normally I do this to add like gravitas to my speeches and whatnot. So it doesn't just sound like a drunken dwarf yelling a friend's name. It sounds like an angry god of the grave drunkenly screaming his friend's name.
Okay.
I don't know if you see what Joe rolled there.
I did.
All right. So you guys are at this for about all of 30 seconds. Darren gets the one boom off before you hear a colossal collective "Shut up!" I need a dex saving throw out of both of you at disadvantage and at -6.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Oh yeah! I add 0 to that check.
Epic.
I have never seen that happen.
I don't think I have either. So I shout back, "Fuck off, you bastards! I'm looking for a Beebo!"
Oh, all right. I still need a dex save out of Karuk.
I just can't even.
Come on, do it. Do it. Okay.
Oh no,
Oh.
that's for one that's firmly in the negatives.
Yep.
So
That's a no.
various items are thrown at you from various residents of the Relic District.
I'm
So
just gonna.
most
Okay.
of them land around Darian, but
I assume I get hit by one, right?
you're going to get hit by a bottle of something.
No, I wanted to say what it was. Who throws a shoe?
Okay, yeah, you definitely get hit square in the face with a shoe, but then you are also going to get hit by a. Oh no!
Okay.
Oh man.
Oh no!
Bring it on.
A microwave? Doesn't even exist in this realm. You got
The
hit by
kitchen
one.
sink.
You get hit
Probably by
Captain Hammer threw a car at my head.
by so you get hit by a full on glass flask from one of the druggies that are just currently trying to get rid of their shit so they don't get busted by the cops.
Oh, am I gonna get high too?
Oh, man.
You get a good whiff of it, and you're going to immediately take some damage, and then you are
Okay.
going to be high as fuck, and also you're going to start to shrink.
Oh
no.
my god.
Siren, you found Beeble.
You're going to take 15 bludgeon damage from the bottle hitting you
Okay.
Oh my god.
square in the face. Like there's probably a chunk of glass probably embedded in your face that you don't feel because you're so plastered. And yeah, so you're going to start to shrink. And
Alright.
so and
Insert a certain Jefferson Airplane song right now.
yep. So and that,
Wow.
folks, is where we're going to end tonight's episode.
Oh my god, yes.
With our drunken detective duo now one booming like a very drunken god. One guy is very much drunk, is now going to be shrinking with a chunk of glass in his face. Beeble has been dogpiled by the local constabulary. And Sarah's just wanted to get laid.
I just want to get laid and get laid. Gatorade.
And we cock blocked you on both.
Oh.
Beeble did, to be fair.
I mean, Beeble being the instigator, but we are not helping.
No, God.
Hashtag
You guys just be
helping.
bros for like a minute.
But yeah, wow,
Oh my
what
God.
a way
To
to
open up
herald
the new
in a
season.
new season. Wow. Again, it's a bunch of impossibilities because considering that I've never seen a double crit on a disadvantage roll.
Right.
Yeah, that's
ridiculous.
Yeah. Like I've seen 2 nat 20s in a roll kind of thing, like for confirming crits before. But like I think I've seen that once.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's
Woo.
crazy.
All right. Well, we have definitely come to the end. This is a great place to stop.
Joe, is that how you saw things going tonight?
No, I had to, honestly,
Honestly,
I knew there was going to be some kind of shenanigans.
Oh yeah.
Because as soon as you guys got into town, I knew shit was going to go down. I just was not expecting everything going to tits. So this,
We're
in
going to
Sarah's case, lack of tits.
Lack of tits.
Yeah.
She never did get knee deep.
I
Yeah.
never did get knee deep in those Titty.
It's okay. We're not planning on leaving like right away unless they like literally chase us out of town with torches and pitchforks, which I suppose at this point is a plausible.
They might.
It is becoming more and more plausible. Yes.
Yep. So, but anyway, folks, this has been Titans of Miran, a Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition a misadventure at this point. I'm going to just label it as a misadventure. We're doing this as part of our Extra Life charity drive. It is a brand new year. We have a new higher goalpost that we want to hit that I'm very confident that we can hit with help with our viewers. So we're looking to get $1,500 for sick kids in hospital who need treatments, who need accommodations, who need entertainment to take their minds off the awful things in the world. So, but you know, this is just a ton of fun. I'm very glad to be here to be able to broadcast this with this merry band. And it's tons of fun. So, but let's go ahead and do some shout throws. And we're going to go in reverse order, starting with Mr. M. Who are you? What do you?
Aspen says donate.
Yes, donate for Aspen.
Donate for the doggo. But we're gonna start with Mr. M. So, who are you? What do you do? And where can people find you if you want to be found?
Apparently, I cause issues in cities. I don't have much of an internet presence other than just as a social media lurker and just regular website wanderer. But you'll find my voice here and there at various museums and whatnot, as I do like little side projects, voice recordings and things like that. Other than that, I just travel for work a lot. So as I said before, you'll probably see different backgrounds each time I get on here and play this game. Hopefully, I won't have to miss any games, but you just never know with my schedule. But I'm looking forward to the madness. I really am.
Mm-hmm.
Good night, all.
Free internet points for anyone who can tell what hotel he's streaming from.
Okay, now that's just getting creepy.
Oh, that looks like room
412. Brand, not city.
All right, moving on to Era. So, who are you? What do you do? And where can people find you if you want to be found?
I typically just kind of stream on this. I don't really stream on any other platforms. I'm currently just working. My life is kind of boring. Working, paying off credit card debt, saving up for my honeymoon this August.
I have $8,000 in credit card debt.
Huh?
Random jingle.
Okay.
From Family Guy.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, we are
1-800-cash now. Anyway.
187.
And I need cash now. Call JG Wentworth. Anyway.
877 cash now.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna stop that right there. We're not sponsored.
Fair enough.
We are not sponsored by JG Wentworth, but
they should give us cash now.
I'm just saving up for my honeymoon, helping stream for the kids. So please donate if you can.
Just more cats. There will be more cats. What more do you people need?
There will be more cats.
And dogs.
Collectively, we have so many cats.
Can I just say I'm jealous of all y'all? Your cats are very compliant, and they actually like to show up on camera, or dogs.
I mean,
I tried to if I were to try to hold my cat up, I would lose a limb, and then this would become a snuff film.
No.
Yeah, let's not for
Some
for
people
the
are
kids.
into that.
That would be a very large donation before we streamed that. That's just
Yeah.
Enough to cover the limb reattachment surgery at the least.
Yeah. So, but Mr. Crackshot, who are you? What do you do? And where can people find you?
Oh, well, I do music and play a lot of video games and stuff like that. Not really have much of a presence online right now, but if you want to look at some of the past stuff, you can look up a podcast called Convince Me Supernatural and Paranormal Podcast. Also, youtube.com/pantsflag if you want to look at some of my gameplay stuff. And I also have this really cool shirt.
Ooh, really cool shirt.
Yeah.
Das Pomeranian.
Das Floofball.
Which is the same as my dog that you saw earlier. But yeah, that's it for me.
All right, excellent. And then, of course, we have Mr. David. Who are you? What do you do? And where can people find you if you wish to be found?
Ah, yes, that's the tricky bit. I generally, it's that time of year where I'm kind of hibernating, so I don't really wish to be found all that much. But I do like jumping in on streams and hanging out here with you guys. So, yep, don't really have any projects in the pipes. Just getting ready for work to start kicking back into gear a little bit after the holidays. So,
all right, awesome. Well, folks, and then of course I am your host, Jodo1025. So obviously I am here at twitch.tv/Jodo1025. I am still working on getting a YouTube up and running. I've just had a lot of things going on, so I'm hoping that I can eventually move the archives, the archives for this season onto YouTube, so that way we have an ongoing history of our misadventures, and it's like, hey, whatever happened to Garuk? Oh, he shrank to death. So I'm on a few other streams as well. This upcoming Sunday, I will actually be over at Lucas G Varieties channel to appear on his Macross RPG stream, which is currently kind of like the in-stream before we get started with our Blades in the Dark game again. And then also, next month, I will be debuting a Call of Cthulhu miniseries based off of the Cultist Simulator kind of lore and world. So if you guys actually look in the archives here, I actually recently did a 4 days of Cultist Simulator to help herald in the new year. And I kind of fell in love with that, said, hey, this might not be a bad idea to put in Call of Cthulhu because it shares a lot of themes. And so that will be coming up. My poor investigators are terrified, and they should be.
as is appropriate.
So, and then the next session of this, we will have actually a pretty significant surprise that I think I'm not going to tell you about until we get to next session. Which I do believe we still need to discuss amongst ourselves. So definitely check the social media pages. I will also probably have another. I'll probably also announce it in my next stream, just so that way everybody knows what is going on. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, I bring this night to a close, saying thank you for watching. I hope you can find in your hearts to donate a couple bucks to this wonderful cause. So, but thank you, wonderful people. Have a lovely evening.
And have you heard of Cookfish?